Howdy ho, everybody. It's Justin. The one and the only. And for some people, they're very thankful about that. So anyway, let me go ahead and set up my Watch Me network and stuff, and we'll get this thing cracking like a sea beast. Yes. Well, that's not right. This is why I always kind of start early, because there seems to be all these interesting problems that happen when I'm trying to do my thing here. So at least it's recognizing now I'm actually alive. Let's try this again. Okay. This time around, I'm going to do more talking because I just feel like I'm in a chatty mood today. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a whirl. That's the wrong URL. Like it is almost every week that I do this. There we go. All right. And we live now, baby. We live. Okay. Leave my dashboard open. Blah, 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 blah. And here we fro. Oh, I need to mute my audio here. I'm not gonna mute it completely because I don't know. Something weird happened one time where like I muted my audio, but then I like muted my actual audio and it didn't pick up anything. And it was what's the word? Whack. It was whack. So I'm just kind of weird about that now. So if you want to give me a reason why that happened, that'd be great. So it's gonna have some stuff in the background playing. This is my own material, so I don't get copyright strikes, which is stupid. Actually, it's not stupid. It's actually a wonderful thing. Just when you're on the receiving end of that copyright strike, it's just not so pleasant. That's all. That's all. So. All right. So anyway, I am now going to start to do the things here. Have this old dude right here. And again, I'll be doing more talking this time around. If you guys enjoyed the music, let me know in the comments, and I will be adding that back, of course. But I mean, it's playing in the background. But like I said, today I just feel that I don't want to do the same thing over and 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 over again, unless I know that's actually working, and then I'll do it all the time because it benefits me. Because that's how we roll as human beings. So let me go ahead and let's take a look at this. Okay, so here's his back. This is supposed to be the right. This is the left, and this is the front. So he only has 2 animations because I was trying to save time, and I did save time by doing this. So, but he's just gonna be sorting through some things, and he's kind of doing a Trump thing where he's like, he's going back and forth. Tremendous. No. So I'm gonna be coloring him, and then I will add some more animations because I have a if I look here, I have some more faces here that I can add and give him some directions and things like that. So it'll look pretty kind of interesting once all that is added to it. So okay, so we'll get get this thing started here. Must be an invisible line here, because I love invisible lines, because I can track them down so easily. False. I cannot track them down easily, and they're a pain. Why is it doing that? Okay. If you're wondering what tracks they are, they will be in the corner when the new song starts. So I sell some of this stuff on what was that website? What is that doggone website called? Bandcamp. Jeez. And I need to get into more avenues and ways to sell my music and everything, because it's not a thing where I'm necessarily like super confident about my music right now. But I do get a lot of requests from my first game, which is Release. Description is in the link below. And I was at a con with a table next to me, and they loved that music so much that they were like jamming out to it for like 2 days straight. It was hilarious. I took that lesson, and then other people were saying the same thing too, so and doing the same kind of things, and I was kind of like, well, maybe I should make it available somewhere or somehow. So I forgot why I was even saying that. Tupac, rest in peace. Okay. Because that has everything to do with everything. Alright. Let's go ahead and... So sometimes there'll be like a really dim line, and I can't find, so I got to trace over the whole thing. It's really annoying, but whatever. And I'm going to try to make sure I keep track of you guys on live. If that does indeed happen. Hasn't happened too much quite yet. Oh boy. So what I want to do this time too is that I'm going to do a little bit of just talking about Black Simulator, how its inception came to be, the discussions I've had with Black Simulator. It's been very interesting discussions, and just where I see the project kind of going in the future, or whatever, what's intentions are, things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about that foolishness now. So the inception of, let me make sure this is not too loud. Yeah. But the inception of Black Simulator, a game that simulates blackness, is that it came about when I was up there in the CGDC in Portland, Oregon, and I met Ryan Green there, of the developer who made That Dragon Cancer, which is a heartbreaking game, but at the same time it's almost a necessary play. Just to experience that, share grief, share that human story, you know, and that story of faith as well. But anyway, so I am having a good time with Ryan Green, and I'm kind of trolling him. I'm playing the circle game with him. If you know what the circle game is like, you know, where you look at the little circle below your waist and then you punch someone in the arm. That's if you look at it, very juvenile, very high school, but that's how I roll. That's how I rock and how I roll, in that order. So I'm messing around with him and being obnoxious with him like I usually am. And I mentioned this as a joke. I was like, bruh, you should make a game called Black Simulator. And like I start joking about this thing, and I see his eyes kind of light up. He's kind of like, dude, you should totally do that. So, and I think he's joking too at the same time too. And he probably was, honestly. So I'm not saying that, you know, Ryan Green told me to make Black Simulator. No. This is just a moment where, you know, we were both kind of, you know, kicking the ball around and just kind of messing around and playing with each other and everything. So, but the idea was doable for me. It wasn't this big project like Release is. Release is this massive project that's now taking like 5 years, really more 4.5, because I kind of stopped development or ceased development on it for a little while just to clear my head and do something different, just to get a game out, which is where Black Simulator also was coming from too. So so this is happening, and I'm molding this around in my head, and I'm kind of frustrated with the progress of Release, and I'm just kind of like, oh gosh, like I don't know what to do with this whole thing. And the Kickstarter wasn't successful for Release as well. It's still up there if you want to take a look at it. So it wasn't successful, and so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just make a small game and see what comes from it. But my problem was that I wasn't sure if I should just do something just to make some money, because that was one of my things, is that I wanted to make something that's going to bring a little bit of income in as well. And so I was like, I don't know if I should do that. For those who don't know, I am a Bible thumping Christian. I'm just kidding, not Bible thumping Christian, but I am a Christian nonetheless. A very, very pretty one. I'm the prettiest Christian probably of all time, and I challenge you to find one prettier than me. You're gonna find these people in the Victorian era, Renaissance stuff. You're gonna find them seem prettier than I am? No, you're not. Okay, by far most beautiful Christian that's ever existed, ever. So anyway, yes, I'm a Christian, and I was kind of asking, God, like, is it okay that I, make this game only for financial reasons, because I wanted to do things they're gonna honor God and glorify His name and things like that. And I prayed about it, he's kind of like, oh yeah, that's fine, just put me in it, and that's fine. I don't care if you do that. I was like, oh, well, all right. So that kind of gave me the green light. So if you're gonna blame me, blame God. That's right. God was like, green light on Black Simulator. Deal with it. I started to develop on from there, because I thought that this would be a really interesting idea to explore. It's kind of almost needed at this point in time, just in terms of perspective, because of all the rather weird racial tensions that are going on. I think a lot of it being unnecessary. But I digress. So, I am getting into development with this thing, and as it's coming along and everything, like I am tapping people for to play it and everything, and they're having a ball with this thing. I mean, they're thinking it's hilarious, they're thinking, and at the same time too, even though it's funny as a lot of people think that it is, because it's so absurd, because of certain things that happen to you in the game, it still sparked a really good and really interesting conversations. So that just encouraged me more that, maybe this is the direction I should be going. So I decided to go ahead and really dive into it and take my time with it and really explore the idea and explore even what God wants to do with it, and all those kind of factors. Excuse me a second. So, that's kind of how the advent of Black Simulator, in terms of it being a solid project for me, actually came about. Is through actual prayer and a Christian Game Developers Conference from last year. So in a weird way, it's been very, very interesting ride so far. Right now I'm shading in lightly this old dude right here. So in a weird way, it's kind of cathartic for me too, just just to work on it. And the conversations that come from it is really, really interesting also. So, um, without spoiling anything, I guess if there's spoilers for this game, I don't know. But one of the things that was discussed was had a friend play it from the Christian Game Developers Conference group. Had him play it, and this guy is like, this guy is very, very white. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. So I'm not one of them. I say, the white men are all terrorists or something weird like. No. But this guy is very, very white. Has no cultural understanding about most things of black culture, and that's fine. I mean, do I have cultural understanding of like Koreans? No, that doesn't make me a racist either. So, I don't know anything about that culture or Philippine culture. I know nothing of these people, so nor am I really trying to at that in my life at this point in time in my life. So yeah. And he was asking about the responses of some of these characters. Like he didn't understand why, because the game kind of functions where you have multiple choices per I guess character that you run into. So you run into these people, and they talk to you, and you have a choice about how to respond. And depending on how you respond, you can either have a good day or a bad day. That's kind of the whole thing about it, right? So you can have a good day or a bad day, and in terms of your responses. But he didn't understand as to why the choices that I presented to him were the only choices that were made. And he's like, I don't understand the context as to why this person is saying this thing to me. And I was like, that's kind of the point. Like, being a minority in a majority population, being a minority is kind of like that. Like, I don't know the context when someone says something to me. Now, if I'm being overly sensitive to that, I could take that to a lot of destructive ways, and it'd be very, very not good. Or I can take it like, well, I guess that's a compliment or whatever. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep the party moving, so to speak. And he was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. So there came some understanding just from this little game. And I was like, okay, that's really, really great. So that, again, all these things encouraged me to actually go ahead and pull the trigger and really make this thing. Because one of the things the Bible talks about, too, is that it talks about understanding. And for people who are listening who are not Christian, I know that it seems rather weird for a Christian to be talking about understanding, where it seems as though so many in the past have been very, very judgmental and things like that, and widely intolerant and scared and broke and all kinds of not so great things. But the Bible itself talks about, understanding, and how when you understand somebody, it's a lot harder to get mad at them. And this is why I stay relatively chill for most of my life, is that I don't want to get all offended, because it's easy to get offended. It is very, very easy to get offended. You can get offended about many things. I went through my black militant phase. I was part at one time back in the day. Oh gosh, this was like in 2000 something, 2003 or something like that. I was part of a group called the All African People's Republic, or something like that. It was a socialist agenda to send supplies back to Africa in order to have the same kind of like base, I guess, maybe that white folks had. So I was like, oh, okay, that sounds reasonable. It wasn't reasonable, but anyway. So I was part of that for a while, and I've been through that phase before, where I was, easily offended and things like that, you know. But like, as I grew, I was like, you know, do I really have time to be? What battles do I have time to pick for? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I need to pick my battles very, very carefully because I noticed I was getting angrier and angrier and angrier about all these battles that I thought I needed to fight, and it wasn't actually true. So I'm taking all these experiences I've had from, you know, just being a person of color, and what I've experienced and what I've been through and things like that, and just putting it all into this game, just from my own experience. So a lot of it is, in terms of the scenarios that I have in the game itself, a lot of it is like based off of my actual experiences with some of these things. Actually, with all these things. So I parodied some of them to the point where they're all absurd. But yeah, like I've had experience with these type of things, or I've had a friend who has experienced those things as well. And I also didn't want it to be a thing where it was, for me lack of better terms, a black sympathy simulator. I didn't want it to be this thing where it's kind of like, oh well, you know, this is how awful it is to be a person of color. You know what I'm saying? This is how awful this is, and this is how awful this is. No. I want to present. That it is a life, and that it has its challenges, just like anyone else's life. It has its challenges, and oh man, I colored that in wrong. Need somebody to blame. I'll blame Herrera. But no. I'm right. I was wrong here. Okay. But it is just a life, and it has its own challenges, like anyone else's life. Any life or any culture, you know, has its challenges. So I just wanted to show the challenges and the things like that, you know, that people of color had to go through, and maybe that can bring some understanding as well. So that's one of my motivations for it, is to bring understanding and even bring, you know, a little bit of what God is saying about a situation like that, just to bring some understanding to each other. So I wanted to have multiple endings, and I wanted to have one, not like a ton of multiple endings, but I wanted to have one where, you know, there's some understanding and some common ground with these challenges that we face, just in terms of culture and things like that. Because I've learned, and we should all learn by now, that the media does not help with social issues. It reports what is fantastic and what is sensational because it profits from those things monetarily, and it's not like necessarily a bad thing, but you just have to be aware of it. Like, a 24-hour news organization needs to report things that are, you know, going to people's interests, and what piques people's interest, essentially, at least in the States here, is bad news. So you're gonna have a 24-hour kind of bad news cast, and if you don't think that's not gonna sway your opinion on things, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, come on, let's be reasonable here. It's gonna sway it. It is gonna sway it. Any kind of media is gonna sway something, you know what I'm saying? That's the power of it. People don't make music, for example. Music is a medium. People don't make music to not affect you and to not move you, emotionally. No musician goes into that field to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna make some songs, just a little tune, no, they don't do that. That's not true. What's going on, David Doe? Sorry I didn't get in contact with you. I was running a little bit behind. So anyway, I don't know if you're still on here or not, but it's good to have you here, bro. So there is, making this kind of game, I think, can be really, really helpful just for happy people to understand. And I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want it to be a black sympathy simulator. I didn't want it to be this thing where it's like, woe is me, I'm black. You know, I wanted to be like, no, this is just what it is. This is what it is for a person of color with other people of color, and here's what it is with a person of color in a majority population of a different culture. Like, this is what it is. So, here are my challenges that I face and that I have faced before in my own community, and here's what I face, in different communities as well. So, you know, um, I wasn't interested in shoving more narrative of how, you know, marginalized and screwed that we are. I was not interested in doing that at all. I want to just give like just the information. Here's what it is, and then after that we can talk about it, and what it did for you emotionally, or it didn't do for you emotionally, or whatever. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of the what this game's trying to accomplish. But I really want people to gain understanding. I used to be a very angry person, low key. I mean, I would play around and joke around and everything. I still do that a lot. But back in the day, I was underneath it all. I was really, really just pissed. I was mad about tons of stuff. And frustrated about tons of stuff. And when I got more into the Word of God and got the Bible, I began to gain understanding, and God would convict me of things, that were not good, or that were kind of hypocritical or kind of, double-sided and everything, and like when I looked at it from that perspective, I was kind of like, you know what, I need to chill out. I need to be quiet. I need to just kind of, chill with all that stuff. Everyone has their own stuff. Human beings are human beings, and there's not a righteous group of human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all ridiculous. So I'm not going to say that if it wasn't for these people or this culture or this or that or whatever, I'm saying, then everything would be fine. That's not true. Because then it would start in your own community. One of the things that surprises people, white folks, is that sometimes I tell them something that's like a secret sometimes. So I'll be like, in the black community, sometimes we have color discrimination in the black community. So certain shades of black will be in style, right? And then or certain tones of black, it's like, well, what I'm saying, you think you're better than me because you light skinned, but now being more dark is sexier now, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a weird thing, right? So we talk about there being discrimination against skin color discrimination that white people have done or whatever, and then we be doing the same kind of thing. so now it doesn't mean that we're putting each other like in camp or putting each other in slavery and bonding each other and things like that. I'm not saying that, but as far as the practice of it being a thing just in the human experience, what I'm saying, it is a thing. That's just the way that people are, and this is why I'm just glad about Jesus, because all that foolishness, he's the one saying that he has the actual solution to all that type of stuff, and so therefore I like the fact that he addresses just the human condition, and I've benefited very, very much from that. This is my personal testimony, not from a religion, because God himself is not like religion. He's like, I'm not satisfied with your sacrifices of bulls and rams and everything. He's like, no, I wanted your heart all along. These are the practices that show your heart, is with me and going towards me, and that's what he wanted all along. But we formed a checklist and try to impress God with the checklist and say that oh, I did all the things, so just twist your arm, God, so he can zip me up into heaven. And it's kind of like, well, it doesn't really work that way, and you're not gonna twist my arm to make me do anything. But these are the benefits that I've experienced with Christ. So that's my own personal testimony. It's not a matter of disagreeing or agreeing. It's just my personal testimony, and what has done well by me in my life. And I've really enjoyed my time with God. But for me, this has also helped me have a clearer view of. It's helped me have a clearer view just from an objective sense. Of just looking at what we do as people and things like that, like I can look at this stuff. Check this real quick. want to make sure it's consistent. But it makes me want to it causes me to look at that from a objective standpoint, because I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be like, okay, well, this group did this and this was dumb, and this group did this because this is dumb, and it helps me just kind of look at, you know, humanity as a whole rather than looking at these pockets in which I'm affiliated with. Because even in, like, you know, Christianity, you know what I'm saying, we got a lot of knuckleheads in Christianity, so, you know what I'm saying, let's not get it twisted, but at least there is that I guess that consistency with what God is saying and what we're supposed to be doing, but like it gets lost a lot of times in translation and things like that. It gets lost in, you know, like, well, no, I'm a Christian, so, you know, this is the culture that I belong to. It's like, well, kinda. You know, this is not a church culture thing. This is more like a follow Jesus thing, and a lot of people get caught up in that stuff too. So, it's needlessly complicated. I know I'm kind of rambling on right now, but it's needlessly complicated and kind of pitiful in a lot of ways too. It's just like, really, guys, we're gonna fight about this now too. It's like, yeah, we're gonna fight about this. Okay. Jeez, I'm gonna get in trouble with all this yapping I'm doing. So as you can see, what I'm doing here, just so you do a quick recap, is that I'm adding a nice containment line around the characters. I like containment lines. A good example of a containment line is in Powerpuff Girls, for example. They have those really, really thick lines, you know, and the lines on the inside are a lot thinner. But I just like the way that looks. That's just a personal stylistic choice that I like a lot. But that's what I'm kind of doing here is adding these containment lines. I had to make sure that I'm keeping myself within the boundaries and borders of the of my grid here, so like some black doesn't pop up right here. That's racist. I was playing. So black doesn't pop up here. So yeah, let's go ahead and save some of this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this into a PNG, and then I'm going to work with the faces. So let me go ahead and get that started. Yeah, let's get that started. But that's just a little bit of insight into, you know, how I'm viewing Black Simulator and what I like about it, what I'm trying to accomplish with it and everything. I know it's not gonna make everyone happy. There's gonna be probably some accusations saying that, you know, are you trying to, whatever the accusations are gonna be, but I literally can't worry about that. I literally will not worry about that either. I am completely entitled to my opinion, and how I'm viewing the world and my own experiences too. I am also entitled to my own experiences and how this has shaped me as a human being. We're all going to have to kind of deal with that as people. But anyway, okay, crap. Let me go ahead and export it to proper location. It's in the proper location, right? Right? No, maybe it's not. I guess it wasn't. I'm gonna blame David Dole. How dare you, David? Why did you do that to me? I didn't mean to get so serious also too. But this game is gonna have a lot of humor in it because it is absurd and a lot of things that happened to Aaron. It's so dumb. It's really dumb. It's terrible. But I think that it'll be worth it. 576. Because to me, humanity is very, very interesting in what we do and say to each other. We wow, y'all. We are wow. We are wow with some of the stuff that we do to each other. Like, something about too, like, like we're strive for peace, and the attitude after like from what I understand historically, the attitude around World War One was that, and all these people died, like hundreds of thousands of people died. It was an atrocity. Like so many people died during that conflict, and conflicts I should say. And the general consensus was that, okay guys, we can never have this happen again. Like never, never, never. This was bad news. Nobody really won this thing. This was awful. So some years move on and we have another world war. Like really? Really? We're so strange this way. We really, really are. So strange that way. Yeah. Just weird. So, but that's why I'm not trying to make it necessarily like a black sympathy simulator, you know what I'm saying? We do some crazy stuff too. This is black people, you know what I'm saying? But that's because we're human though. And that's really the ultimate problem. And again, that's why I like the solutions that Christ poses, is that he basically says that, you know, you gotta have something that's outside of you telling you, you know what I'm saying, showing you a better objective reality. Because if it's coming from humanity is always doing these weird things, then it's kind of like, well, are we gonna find a solution? If it's coming from us, like, that's kind of a hard question. I would hope so. I would love it to be that way, but we've been at this thing for a very, very long time, and not looking so hot. But I won't stop going on about that. But anyway, again, I'm showing you my process here. Let's see here. I need faces. Here we go. And we're just going to take this and drop it in here. There we go. So it's not going to be an exact science the way I would like it to be, but it might be alright. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to need this face right here. Alright. Okay. Alright. Did I cut his brain off? Let's take a look. No, it's fine. That was a weird statement, wasn't it? Did I cut his brain off? I might need another one of these. Yeah. Let's hide that. There we go. I think that should be alright. Okay. Alrighty. Oops. So now I'm going to auto crop this. There we go, nice and small and manageable. We'll shrink this down. Truly what I should do is I should go over here and look at the size of the head here. 295. Oh, 195, sorry. It doesn't seem that accurate to me. I might need to scale it 200. Because that don't seem accurate to me. So I'm looking at the guy's head in contrast to this head, and yeah. I mean, it's going to be a little bit thinner because it's from his side, but you know, that's a little bit off. So, anywho, we're going to erase his head and replace it with the other head. Okay. There we go. Does that have to be all the way off? There we go. So I can leave a little bit of like a pink space right there because I'm going to be sticking his head there in the first place. So it'll be all good. How good? All good. All right. There we go. Looks like he's taking a whiz, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of does right now. Oh, shut up. I'm gonna make a folder here called heads. Heads. Sounds awful. Put that right there. And it's gonna need a color layer as well. So I do all my layering in colors because I mean all my colors and layering because it's easier to get rid of stuff that way. To really keep track of it like I would normally have to if I was if I made a mistake or whatever, you wanted to make it a different color, I could just hit the color and layer and then just, you know, fill it in with whatever I want. So it's kind of like, you know, right here, I can just get rid of that and start over again, or make it another color, you know. So learn that color layer and add what I need to add. So no big deal. I like it for those reasons. Okay. So anywho, we're just gonna take a look at it right here. Let's take a look at that and take a look at this. Oh man, your head is killing me right now, son. Okay, it's a little bit more manageable though because I haven't duplicated it and had to go back and fix it, each and every one of them, so that's nice. What are you whining about now? Maybe something's going on with my... No? It's being very sensitive today. Whatever. Doggone it, David Dahl. It's your fault. I wonder if it's David Dahl or David Dole. Ugh. So annoying. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I might just be ignorant. I don't know why it's so sensitive. Good lord. Man, this is ridiculous. It has not acted this way before, so I must have done something different, and it didn't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. I guess this? No? Oh, come on! What do you want? Is it here? So basically, I'm trying to form, trying to find the line where it's leaking so I can do a paint bucket, and kind of fool around with the head here. But there's an open door somewhere. I can't find it. Oh, it might be right here. Wow, this is unbelievable. So mad at this right now. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know where it could be. Okay, I guess it's not there then, so it must be somewhere down here. So let's get rid of that. So was this down here? Whatever. Whatever! Thank you, Jesus! Woo! Woo! Okay. Go ahead and add you back in here. Okay, so we're going to do the ink drop right here, ink vial or whatever. It's annoying. Okay, not right now, not right now, not right now. We need more heads. Sounds so sinister. We need more heads. At least I don't want to do that once now, thankfully. Alright. Justin has a message. Okay. I know his head's a little bit different, but I might want to have a little bit of animation in there, so it's all good. Yeah, should be alright. We might increase the size of the heads a little bit. There we go. That makes me feel better. There we go. That makes me feel better. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do one more, and it's going to be up in the very, very front. So I'm gonna take an old man, stick them up here. Like so. Okay, I need to make sure his feet are in the right spot though. That will be important. Actually, we'll be smart. We're trying to be a little bit smarter, a little bit craftier, like macaroni and cheese. Ah! Go. Because I want him looking left and right. I want an animation where he's looking left and right. That'd be kind of fly. That means good. Okay. So now then we can get the colorings. I'm colored. This is the intro track for my big title. Oh my gosh, it's doing it again. Some people look at me who are like professional. They're like, bruh, you're trash at this. Well, we gotta start somewhere, right? Which is usually the dumpster. Oh man. So what are you complaining about even though I already fixed you? What? Fine, whatever. Jeez. I think it's probably this little part right here is probably what's screwing it up because I did a sample merged. When you do a sample merged, that means you're merging the all the layers together. Hence the word sample merged. So just being aware of that. Okay. Now maybe you may be asking me, bruh, why are you doing this thing probably the hardest possible way? And the answer is mostly to challenge myself. But I truly, I really do enjoy hand-drawn, old school animated stuff. Like, to me, Fantasia will always be gorgeous. That thing is like 70 some odd years old. It's always going to be gorgeous. Why? Because you appreciate the fact that some dude or dudette, that's a girl, sat in front of their art table and drew all that stuff by hand and drew it over and over and over and over and over and over again. I just like that. That's like the idea of doing it old school. So I know that it's not conducive to being on a timely schedule or things like that, but I really love it. But and I've seen other programs too to where they can make it easier, so I might experiment with those as well. So it's probably the last game that I do like on a straight up hand drawn kind of level, except for maybe release. I'll be a little bit wiser in terms of doing that, but I definitely want at least the feel of it, of being something hand drawn, hand animated like that. I think it's beautiful and perfect. I love it. Just love it. Okay. Go ahead and look at that. That. Okay. Alright. We're getting close to being done, guys. Here we go. Scott York! Yeah, I never use the quick masks. I never use them. Like, even when I saw what it does, I was kind of like, well, I kind of layer everything the way that I do. So do I need them? Scott's like, yes, bro, you need them. Oh man, may have to fool them again because apparently I'm missing something here. Okay. Get a nice shine on there. Let your soul glow. Just let your soul glow. Okay. Alright. I don't know why this weird shading effect came into play right here, but I like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and run with it. And we'll go ahead and do a multiply, and we'll get a nice warm shade because it's during the day. Oh, whoops, I forget that one. Yeah, I'm gonna do some editing on that one. Whew, Jesus. Let's go ahead and basically that up like that. It'll look just as pretty as I am. Because I am very pretty. Of all time. Now this track is one of my favorite tracks I did with a guy named Jonathan Crossmer. Check out his page, jonathancrossmer.com. Crosmer, and it's Jonathan without the H, without the but love that dude, and we did this little track together, and it was pretty dope. That means good. So yeah, I shouldn't have done it the way that I did right here. It doesn't have to be an exact science, just a near science with this particular kind of animation. Okay, so now I'm going to take all these heads and do an outer glow. Johnny C is he's actually a music composer, so very good at what he does. So if you go to jonathancrossmer.com, that's what John without the H. He actually like composes music, like classical music, and it's really beautiful. It's really, really nice. So if you go there and go to his blog, jonathancrossman.com, and go to the blog and go to music, and you'll be able to find some of his compositions that are there. But the little saxophone you hear in the background, that's actually him doing that with the keys. So we're just kind of fooling around with it. But I definitely want to do more music with the guy because it was dope. So yeah. Okay, now we added a line to that. I'm gonna scoot you up here like so. Oh, I think it went too far. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So now you have a nice honey-coated fillet finish. I'm going to take this and then I'm going to save this as a PNG. Then open it up for one last hurrah. Usually it's not this complicated, but when you're I don't have a good process right now for making the less traditional animations that I have. PNG. Okay. Perfecto. Okay, then we're going to duplicate this layer. And we're going to make sure that, and this is another track from release. Is it that layer or is it this layer? Yeah, it's this layer I need. Okay. I'm sorry. No, this layer. This layer. This layer. Okay, yeah, that's it. What's throwing me off was the I was expecting it to be one right here, but it's not because the way it's shaped. All right. Then we just take that and then we flip it like Missy Elliott. There we go. Okay. We're saving that over. That's this complete version of it. And then we're going to shrink it to a acceptable size, which is not this. It's 384. Yeah. Okay, now we have this nice little template here. Then we're going to go to export, black sim, image, characters, PNG. We make sure to have a little dollar sign right here so we can make sure that it is going to read it correctly and not read the little chibi people. Okay. Then we're going to open up RPG Maker. Alright. And then we're going to go to the shoe store. And this is the old dude right here. This is the original graphic right here. We're replacing this. So I'm replacing all the 2D graphics, or the little chibi RPG Maker graphics, with my hand-drawn stuff. So, old man, he's just kind of sitting here chilling. Alright. And we want to have him stepping in place. And he's going to be there fixed. And old man, like that. Stepping animation fixed, and there we go. Gonna move him right. Move him right here. I'm gonna move this guy right here. Actually, I'm gonna move this girl right here. So once again, I'm going to actually be replacing all the background stuff here as well with hand drawn stuff, and it'll look pretty neat when I'm done with it. I think it'll look fire when I'm done with it. So I'm excited about it. I'm more excited about the backgrounds than I am about the characters. So. Oh yeah, I need to probably pause that. And let's see what we got here. There's gonna be some adjustments made. All right. I guess we can walk over there. Can't go out because I'm in my drawers. Okay. And I will put on a nice business casual suit. There we go. I am now a respectable Negro. Oh man. Let's go to the mall. And listen to some grimy hip hop too. All placeholders. Those are all placeholders. Let's see what we got. Okay. I'll have to make the shells a little bit different, or maybe make him a little bit taller in order to make that kind of work the way it's supposed to be working. So I want him to kind of look like he's sorting through a bunch of stuff. But yeah, as far as the animation itself goes, you know, he's animated pretty well. Now he looks like he's in a DJ. Yeah. Somebody drop some bars. Drop some bars in the comments. Drop bar. I'm just playing. Don't drop any bars in the comments. I'd be strangely happy if someone did though. And right here, see like little details like that, where you see that little flicker right there. That's why you gotta be careful about your blacks going over into your and cutting through and showing up in weird places. So, but as far as him himself goes, that's all good. So I can live with that for the most part. Okay. Let's do this too, since we're in such a jovial mood today. Well, actually, let me do this first. Yeah, it was up here. I think that's the culprit right there. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we'll just straighten these little lines out right here. The wiser thing to do would probably be to have done it with the original, but whatever. I'm just over it right now. Okay, so what I can do now is show you a little bit more of the game. We'll do a t-shirt. Gotta get this. Or we'll go ahead and run out of here. Let's go to President Andy's house and listen to some classical music. Now see, these are original characters right here, so I didn't want to use a bunch of RPG Maker sprites and everything, you know, so I wanted to have its own distinct look. This was the only thing, the platform that I know the most is RPG Maker. I've been doing that for years. This one actually ports to like Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, and browser. So I thought to get a quick thing out, a relatively quick project out, would be to create it in an engine I'm the most familiar with, rather than kind of wasting more time, you know, trying to figure the whole thing out. So, but you kind of look at it too, where, you know, it could have been like a thing. Oh my goodness, I think I have saved someone at the wrong size. Look at this. Look at, oh, giant man. He's going to destroy us all. Blah. You know what? I'm just gonna end I'm gonna end the stream on that note, because that is fantastic. I couldn't have asked for a better ending than that. I really couldn't have. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. So I had to go back and fix that. Oh man. So in the hood. So the only two people left right now are the pastor and grandmama. That's pretty much it. Then get started in the background and make some more tracks and everything. So I want to make a really nice soundtrack too. But anyway, this is to explain the mechanics for people who has watched it for the first time. This is the Popo meter. The Popo meter will, when it's filled up, the Popo will come out and arrest you or shoot you. So you're just trying to get from grandmama's house to deliver some bread from grandmama's house and get some shoes and then deliver your book that you bought from your pastor. And that's all you're trying to do. That's all you're trying to do. Just do that without getting shot or arrested by the police. That's all you're trying to do, bruh. That's all. Shoot. It's not that hard. So, but at the same time too, like for example, you'll have this guy right here. If you talk to him, hey man, can I get a ride? Okay, again, here's some placeholders. Can I pick up a friend? Sure. Right, can I pick up one more friend? Sure. So these are all placeholders. Looks like R. Kelly is in the right. But you see, I just filled up my Popo meter up a little bit more. Because, once again, you don't want to believe a black guy in the car with a bunch of other black people. That would be very, very suspicious. So, therefore, you know, that Popo meter just kind of hikes up there. And we don't want that. We don't want that. And we can go to the mall, for example. Put some old school stuff in there. So, you can go to the mall. And you can talk to, like, this girl right here, for example. How are you? Well, hi. You know, you speak so well. So we can go ahead and we'll do the popular one. We'll do what am I supposed to sound like? This is a compliment, you know, like nah, son, I don't know what you mean. Oh my God, you people are so sensitive. We'll just curse the lady out right there. Hello, police, he's crazy. Oh no! Oh no, the police have been called. And what can we do here? What can we do here? Stop right there, sir. I didn't do nothing. He's gone crazy. So yeah, then after that they shoot you, and that's not a good way to end the day. That's not a good way to end the day. So, but this is how the mechanics of Black Simulator work. Is that I'm always trying to bait the player into actually triggering the player and baiting them to have the wrong response. But, you know, again, I'm not trying to make a Black Sympathy simulator, because you can probably just have a good old time in this thing, you know, and not run into any trouble at all. This kind of depends. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. Thank you very, very, very much. You can like, subscribe the video and my channel, and hopefully you'll look forward to the release of the game. I'm really want to do it. I've said this for a couple of months now. I want to do it by the end of the month, but I'm really learning to try to take my time with things and make sure that they are good, so that just to deliver a good product and really crawl inside the product that I'm trying to make and do what's best for that particular project that I'm doing. because sometimes I can get impatient and I want to push it out, and then, and I never do anyway because I'm not satisfied with it. So I might as well stop with the whole, strict deadlines, because I never meet them. So I would desire very much to be done as soon as I can, especially by the end of the month. So at least one thing they completed, and then after that I have to, go back in and build the website, and also market it and things like that. So it may not be market ready for a while, but I'll at least have the thing like done and bug free, play tested, stuff like that. So, but anyway, guys, I will, Lord willing, smoke with you another time. And blessings and power to you. Bye bye.